So guys, for centuries in Japanese folklore, these massive serpentine oarfish have been known as ryugu no tsukai, which means messengers from the sea god's palace. And the ancient belief is, when these deep sea giants wash ashore, it's a sign that earthquakes, tsunamis, or something as massive as this is coming very, very soon. And in 2011, right before Japan's devastating Tohoku earthquake that claimed over 18,000 lives, about 20 oarfish appeared before the happening on shores. And we all know what happened after that. So the crazy part is that now it's happening again. Just weeks ago, on February 20th, 2026, two enormous oarfish washed up alive in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Then, days later, on March 4th, another one in Danang, Vietnam. So sightings clustering across the Pacific along the Ring of Fire. You know, just like those eerie patterns from before, man. And the cherry on top is a woman I stumbled across on that is talking about a prophecy that she sees in this year, 2026, that could be linked to all of this. So is this all just coincidence, or is there more to all of that? Stick around, because if the old legends holds true, man, something big might be closer than we all think. So let's hop right into it after the intro. Let's go.
Describing an underwater UFO as large as a football field, moving at hundreds of miles per hour underwater.
Have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself of non-human origin craft?
Yes, I personally interviewed those individuals.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it.
The United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
We are not all to be traced back to one blob of germplasm.
And the implant is finally removed.
There's no evidence how the object got inside the body.
Can you comment on the drones?
Our military knows where they took off from. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
And before we start though, if you're new here to the channel, right now, take the chance and hit that subscribe button, man. If you're looking for the truth and you like mysteries and everything that seems to make no sense first, but then it might be, then I welcome you to join the journey and explore things together. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and let's go. So guys, right here, man, we're gonna hop right into the first spot, which is Mexico. And yeah, man, this is super interesting, right? So here we have the first oarfish sighting, and we can see Cabo San Lucas Bay. And yeah, man, definitely nice looking area. Haven't been to Mexico, sadly, till now, but it's just a matter of time when one day we'll go there. And the first video we're gonna start with is coming from the lovely Monica Pittinger. So thank you, Monica, for the footage. I hope you're alright with me using it. I did not ask, to be honest, man. I'm being super honest. If you don't want me to use it, let me know in the comments. So we're gonna go and hop right into the video. So guys, as we can see, nice looking bay, two giant oarfish, which is crazy. They do look like something not coming out of this world. I gotta be honest with you, when I first saw this thing, I thought it's AI, like probably 95%. These days, everything is AI, man. So they look crazy. Me personally, I wouldn't even be sure if they do have some kind of toxin or something. They look crazy, dude, like a dragon or something. So this is massive. In case you don't know, these things are super, super rare, man. They are super, super rare. I think I did read something about that they have been like 1 in 6 sightings over the last 40 years, you know? So 4 and 0. So they are not very common. And as I said again, those fish, they seem to be some kind of doomsday fish. So this all goes back into like at least the 17th century in Japan, where they always seem to occur at times right before something destructive is happening, like a tsunami, like an earthquake. And this is super interesting. So yeah, man, gonna play one more time. Yeah, dude, the way they're just floating there. Kind of sad, man. I always don't like animals. You know, they're suffering, definitely. And yeah, well, they try to push him back in, but... wow. Crazy. And the other thing is they're coming from super, super deep down, you know? But yeah, man, good to see people trying to bring them back in, man. They are pulling them back in, so I don't know if they made it, actually. I hope they make it. I mean, they seem to be alive, so probably they did save that guy, which is a good thing to see, man. Those guys are so rare. It's a very, very, very uncommon thing to actually see them. And especially in a very short time in two places at once, right? And so now that we spoke about Mexico, we're coming to our next spot, which is basically Vietnam. So here we are, Bien Dong, right? So here we have the beautiful Bay of Vietnam. And yeah, man, very, very different place. I mean, it's not directly close to Japan. I mean, it's kind of close to Japan, if you know what I mean. We have Japan over here. So you see, it's not directly there, but you could say maybe it could be in the area, but could be also random. Who knows, man? Maybe it's some kind of forecast, maybe not, but it's definitely interesting to see all of this happening. So now we're gonna take a look on another video. There we can see basically the same thing.
On the afternoon of the 4th, leaders of the Management Board of Sun Tra Peninsula and Danang tourism beaches confirmed that the carcass of an oarfish had washed ashore in An Hai Ward, Danang City. Accordingly, this morning, many fishermen discovered the carcass of an strange fish drifting ashore along the coastal restaurant area and reported it to the authorities. The fish weighs about 10 kilograms and is nearly 2 meters long. The body is silvery white with many blue spots. The dorsal fin is reddish pink, and it has long barbels on its head and lower mouth. According to local residents, this is a species of oarfish, also known as the ribbonfish. The incident attracted a large crowd of curious people to come and take photos.
Well, that was a short one, but yeah, it's more about the happening itself, right? So here we do see it again, having a 2-meter oarfish washing ashore in Danang. And just to give you a perspective or something similar that happened last year, where we have a post from the 3rd of June 2025, where we can see another Doomsday fish, you know, that was washed up on Tasmania's wild west coast right before, and with right before, I mean a couple of months before we had this crazy 8.8 Russian earthquake in Kamchatka that you maybe remember. And this is a pattern that you can see quite sometimes. As I said, right before something like this happens, we do see these oarfish washing up at shores, and then maybe there's always this kind of time window, about a couple of months, till something, insane happens. So here we can see a ribbonfish, which is kind of the family. So I think not every ribbonfish is an oarfish, but every oarfish is a ribbonfish, if you know what I mean. And this is just to give you a perspective, as they, actually, as I was mentioning, you have 16 sightings in nearly 40 years, which is not a lot, as you can tell. So those things are definitely super rare, bro, super rare. And I mean, you all guys know that at the moment, we are living in times which are, let's say, kind of dominated by war, in a way, you know? So we do see a lot of bombs, we see a lot of rockets, we do see countries having trouble with each other, let's just put it that way. And you could definitely think that we are heading for the Doomsday times, man. And this is kind of a sign that we can see those oarfish. And not that this is already enough, I stumbled across another woman called Vinita Dubey Pande. So she's, I think she's an Indian woman. I hope I'm not wrong. This is the woman I'm talking about, and she's a spiritual life coach, alright? And I just stumbled across her, and this was just fitting perfectly. So this is kind of the first thing that popped up to me and I paid attention to. So I just gave it a try and see what she had to say. And it was actually crazy because it was fitting so much into what could be explained with the sightings of the oarfish. So let's listen.
But the fourth prediction is about a country whose name is mentioned as China. That country, along with Russia, would artificially create a natural disaster. And this would be specifically to target America. But the country that will be affected the most would be Japan. And it also talks about, whether it's this undersea volcano or whether it's this artificial event that's created where China might say, oh, it was just a volcanic eruption or something. But somehow using satellites or technology or some sort of vibration or sound waves or something advanced, when they would create this natural disaster, it would also involve toxic gas. People would find it hard to breathe. And I have heard other predictions where people would have to stay inside their homes and shut the doors and windows. Now, the Nadi leaf did tell me that you can warn the world, but not to put people in fear. This is to being told to the world so that I can tell people to prepare, perhaps by getting masks that filter out toxic gas. But the other thing that Shiva, the Supreme, has stressed in the Nadi leaves is the message that you must send out is that of prayer, of faith, because God always listens to those people who are pious, who are spiritual. And when you pray, the magnitude of these calamities will greatly reduce.
So, me personally speaking, I find this is huge, man, because I haven't been into this whole Nadi leaf prophecy thing, and I'm very, very, as always, man, always be skeptical, always question everything. Not saying that what she is saying will be the case, it's just, in my perspective, prophecies are just a glimpse into the future due to the timeline we are on right now, but they can shift, so timelines, they can actually change, so with Irmeyer, so Alois Irmeyer, back from the days that saw like World War III happening and everything being run over, like Europe, by the Red Army and stuff like that, this is not happening anymore because timelines basically shifted. So this is at least what the most people came to the conclusion to, that this is the case right now. So times actually changed, but now we're in a different timeline. And it is interesting because what she is talking about does remind me of the Hopi prophecy that also talk about those, days of darkness or whatever, man, those days where you kind of walk outside and you should stay indoors and you can't breathe the air. So it's interesting that she's talking about, let's say, an artificial event that might take place, which kind of sounds to me, in a way, could be an earthquake, could be an eruption. Definitely something that seems to be of a natural cause at first, which also could be something that these oarfish are already showing, that we're heading into this direction. Because as we can see, these oarfish do appear a couple months before things like that happen. So this is huge. This is huge. And this is just something I wanted to share with you guys, because I do feel there's so much happening right now that I don't want to go into the whole war thing too much, There will be a couple live streams coming up in the next days that I'm going to take a listen to, of course, also talking about those topics. But I don't want to put too much energy into this whole war thing, because with everything that we pay attention to, we are feeding this thing, and war is something that I'm over with, man. I have enough of war, man. War is just bad, bro. I don't want to take part with that, War, they can do their whole own thing, oil and whatever, man. It is interesting in a way to observe it, and it is just sad to see so many lives, people suffering, so many lives are wasted for their profit. And yeah, man, in the end, it's just about money, you know. Money and power, basically. That's the whole thing. But at the moment, we are living in time. We are living in times of. It's basically a war of consciousness in a way, when you want to put it like that, you know. And I do feel as well, which is crazy, and I do see a lot of people talking or writing about it, especially on X, that I feel like we do start to live on different timelines, even though we live on the same planet. But it's like, at the moment, I do feel like if you're spending time on X, bro, it is like you're living in a different world. Like, you wake up, you take a look on X, what is going on in this world? You see so much stuff happening, which is almost sounding as if it's coming out of a sci-fi movie or something, you know? So much new stuff with AI happening, like scientists doing stuff with human brain cells that are now able to play Doom and stuff like this. And then you go out into the normie world, you know, and then you talk to normal people and they don't know anything. And they just live in their normal life like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Kind of, you know what I mean? I'm like exaggerating now. But it's so weird. Like, in a way, there are so many people being aware of crazy, like, world-changing things that are happening right now, or that are starting to happen, and we can see, oh wow, times are actually changing. And on the other side, there's like this whole other world also just doing their thing, and I feel like we can decide at the moment where we want to go. Crazy. So sorry for this long monologue. I just had the feeling I had to bring this into the video because I just wanted to get this out, you know? So if you resonate with this whole thing, I would really, really appreciate a subscription. And yeah, man, as I said, leave a comment. What do you think of this whole thing? Does it make sense to you? Do you feel like this is random? Is it just like, you know, people want to see something like this even though there's no real pattern, no link? Let me know what you think, man. So I hope you have a good time. As I said, don't get drowned with this whole war thing. So much negative, destructive, death, doomsday vibes. Try to look for the positive things in this world. And then we will get there, man. Together, of course. Together. So guys, it was a short one. I appreciate your time though. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, have a good time with your loved ones. I'm out of here.